You know, I've discovered there's not a lot on television that I can watch. And Krista and I have kind of gone back and forth about, should we keep cable? Should we get rid of cable? We've talked to people who got rid of cable and went to just non-cable stuff, and talked to some of them, and they said, yeah, we went back to cable because we found out once we started paying Netflix and Hulu and a lot of whatever they all are, we found out we were paying more money than if we just kept cable. So, there's 1,000,001 things on television and very little to watch. But one of the things that I watch and enjoy, Krista and I watch it together, is diners, drive-ins, and dives. You are laughing because you know this show, and whether you like it or not, you know the setup of it. And the guy, right? His name's Guy. I mean, he's the personality of it, and he keeps it going and so forth. It's in my mind, it's one of the best food shows, and it's enjoyable. And the other interesting thing about the fact that Krista and I watch it so much is we either can't or won't eat 90% of the things that they're cooking there, right? It isn't about the recipe that we're going, oh yeah, we're going to try this one. It's just like, wow. And one of the amazing things is, you'll look at these, diners, drive-ins, dive restaurants, allegedly, they're really not if you look at them, but they're kind of in that genre. And what you would consider to be some kind of simple meal, and then you see what they put in it in the back. And they've got 15 or 20 different things. They're going, yeah, and I put in this and I put in that. And I'm going, really? You're putting all that stuff in there, right? But once you get all that stuff in there, man, it tastes good. Things that you wouldn't even guess or be able to recognize that are in there, blending with other flavors and just making this great thing. If you're not getting hungry yet, the spices on the slide behind me there are taco seasoning. And there is a website, I don't know what it is, maybe I should have written it down there, you all could have known it, that this is a picture that they have on there, and they give a recipe for how many things are up there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spices for a taco mix. Really? I just get the McCormick packet and open it up and, there it is. When food is seasoned well, the same meal with the right seasoning on it versus one that is, it's okay, but it's just got a little salt and pepper on it, it makes so much difference. And the point of it is not just to make you hungry, but the point is to get to what Paul says at the end of this. Is let our conversations be full of grace, seasoned with salt, that we may know, how does he say it? That we may know how we ought to answer each other. The first part of that is let your conversation, not just, when I have to talk to somebody about the Lord. Okay, now I got to put some salt in there and remember my grace. Okay, there I go. No, it's let all your conversation, and the word conversation, I don't know if it's true in this case, going back to the Greek, but in the English, it used to be that the term conversation meant more than just what came out of your mouth. It had to do with your whole demeanor. It had to do with your countenance. It had to do with the way you carried yourself. That person's conversation is very gracious. And I choose to look at this verse, and I think it's entirely appropriate, that that's the sense in which Paul is telling us, you know what? Our whole conversation, not just what comes out of our mouth, but all of our demeanor and how we carry ourselves should be full of grace and seasoned with salt. Unfortunately, too often, it's full of salt and seasoned with grace that I've observed.